This is Maria from InkyLittleTreasures.com, and today I am going to show you how to make this card using the Ribbon of Courage stamp set. So the colors I'm using are Lemon Lime Twist, Basic Black, Whisper White, and then this is a strip of designer series paper from, I believe, the Animal Outings DSP. And then I will put the item number and name on the screen as I'm using them. Yeah, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my Lemon Lime Twist, which is 8.5 by 11 paper that I've cut in half. So it's 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to line it up corner to corner. I'm going to try to do it without getting my head in the camera. And then using my bone folder, I'm just going to make a really crisp fold. So this is your standard card size here. I'm going to take my Basic Black using some adhesive. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick that right in the center. So when I line up my cards, I turn them sideways and I just line up the top and bottom. And then I try to line up this corner to this corner, make sure the spacing is even. That's just kind of my little trick to make sure that everything lines up and falls in place like it's supposed to. So this Basic Black is cut at, let's see, what is it? It's going to be 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have Whisper White here. This is going to be cut at 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And this one, I don't remember what this one is cut at. I know that it's, I know it's 5 inches, and I want to say it's either 1.5 or 2 inch strip. So I'm going to use my Big Shot. I'm going to set this over to the side so it's kind of out of the way with my strip. And pull my Big Shot over. And on my white, I'm going to do some embossing. So I have here my Big Shot platform. I have my 2 cutting plates. So I'm going to put 1 cutting plate on the bottom. I'm going to take my sparkle folder. This is the sparkle embossing folder. And I'm just going to line it up so that it's about maybe 3/4 of the way down. So part of it's still sticking out. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to try to keep it straight. It doesn't really matter because we're going to hide that, but I still want it to be semi-straight. I don't want to go too crazy. So I'm going to put my clear plate on top so it's sandwiching that folder, and then I'm just going to roll it through. So then I have a really pretty embossed, can you see those sparkle textures? Isn't that so pretty? Okay. So I'm going to put away the embossing because we're done with that. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set aside the Big Shot for a second so that we can do more adhering. So I'm going to bring my card back over. I'm going to turn my Whisper White over because I want the, I don't know like what the term is. I know it's debossed and embossed, but I want my sparkles to be popping up instead of going down. I don't know if you can see the difference, but see how those are going into the paper? I want them to be coming out of the paper. That's going to be my top layer. So I'm just going to fold it over. And whenever I'm adhering embossed, dry embossed cardstock like this, I tend to use a lot of cardstock because I want to make sure that it really adheres down and nothing pops up. So I'm going to do the same little trick that I did before, just lining up this corner and that corner so that everything kind of falls evenly into place. And then making sure, I should have checked before, I kind of did, but just making sure that it's all opening correctly because I have a habit of adhering stuff down only to find that I did it upside down. So again, this is from the, I think it's the Animal Outing DSP, but I'm just going to use this, it's Calypso Coral. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. And I'm going to line it up on this white. I'm gonna leave just a little bit of white sticking out on the bottom. Not a whole lot, just enough to kind of peek through and give it a little bit more, I don't know if that's like texture or whatnot, but okay, so we've got this. This is basically our entire card front. I have some die cutting we're gonna do, and then we'll get on to the stamping part, which is the fun part, right? So I'm gonna bring my Big Shot back over and my cutting plates. So what I'm going to be using is the Bunch of Banners framelits. I'm using this framelit, and I'll be using that on basic black cardstock. And then I have the Layering Circles framelits, and I just picked two that kind of nestle inside of each other. So I'll have that. And I'm using Whisper White and Basic Black for that. So this time I'm using my magnetic platform. And then I have my another embossing plate, a clear embossing plate. And then because these images are somewhat small, I want to roll them through all at once. So I just have scrap pieces of the colors I want here. This is Basic Black. That's, well, that's Basic Black. This is the Lemon Lime Twist, and then Whisper White. And I'm gonna just move these down a little bit so that they all fit. And give me a second to grab my circles because I dropped them. Okay, so my smaller circle, I want, you know what, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do my white yet. We'll come back to that. Okay, so my bigger circle, I'm gonna do Lemon Lime Twist, and then my banner, I'm gonna do in the Basic Black. So I'm just putting my dies over the paper, putting another sandwich plate on, or clear plate on top to kind of sandwich it up again. I'm rolling it through, and you'll hear that cracking noise when it rolls through, but it's totally okay, completely normal. You haven't broken anything. It's just the pressure being applied to your cardstock and cutting out your image. Well, I guess, I don't know if it's an image or just a die cut. You guys, it's really late. I'm so tired. But I really wanted to push myself to get a video in, so here it is. Okay, so here's the banner in the Basic Black, and here's the Lemon Lime Twist circle. I'm gonna set those aside for a second. I'm going to use the Ribbon of Courage stamp set, and I'm using this Sending Love and Hugs to You stamp. So I'm just gonna pull that out, flip it upside down onto my surface, and I'm using, I think this is Clear Block C. So I'm just gonna stick it there, and I just like to do it this way because I feel like it helps some of my red rubber images really stick to my clear block. So using my Memento ink pad, I'm going to ink up this stamp, just ink it up really well. I'm gonna stamp it down, and that looks beautiful. Okay, so I'm setting that aside, setting those aside, pulling my Big Shot back over. So the reason I wanted to stamp first is because that is what I'm using is a clear stamp, and you can't see through it. So I wanted to make sure that my sentiment was going to line up centered like I wanted. Sometimes when you cut your framelit first and then you do your sentiment can get a little off if you're not using photopolymer stamps. So just being really careful that I don't shift things around. I'm gonna set my plate over it and then roll this one through. And again, that cracking noise is totally normal. So I'm putting my Big Shot away. And let me put my plate and my cutting pads away. And then pulling out my circle. Ta-da! Sending love and hugs to you. Okay, so I'm flipping that over using a little bit of adhesive. I'm going to center this up inside of my Lemon Lime Twist circle. Just setting that there. I'm bringing my card back over. I'm going to use my banner. I'm going to flip my banner over it, and I'm going to just add some adhesive on it. And I'm going to center this up kind of here a little bit to the left of the card. I don't really want it quite in the center. And And then let me get some dimensionals. I'm dropping stuff all over the place. Okay, so dimensionals. I'm putting dimensionals on the back of my lemon lime twist circle. I'm going to use 3. If you have acrylic nails like I do, sometimes it helps to take the corner of your nail and kind of push in the middle of the dimensional. That helps get these little backs off. So that'll go there. Okay. And then just making sure that the sentiment is straight and facing up looking at me. I'm just going to set that right there on my card. There it is, guys. Super quick card. I hope you like it. Leave a comment below. Follow me if you're not a follower yet. I'd love to continue to make videos and share what I love with you. Have a great day. Bye.